The want for a life, a body to inhabit, is pretty much universal. Anything with a soul as such would basically want to live, at least on a fundamental level, so can you really blame this doppelganger for what it's doing? Yes, probably. There doesn't seem to be a wall, in which case things become, you know what, this is too much for my goals. But since we've got Scavenger now teaming up with a level 5, we've got them lying about what their intentions are. I wonder if they will change their attitude towards teachers and the like after encountering Misaka. She's helping them with no real goal on her end. Not everyone is as bad as they think. Let's see some more. I really can't wait to get into the big fight here when we've got the building size Goliath. There are certain things that our little railgun is accustomed to coming up against and facing. Just what is the skill at just destroying full-on buildings and the like? The texture work on that 3D model was not too bad. It catches the lighting nicely. Oh, that's one building saved in this district. Well, it's still displaced horribly, but oh, it's a quadruped. And you just saw its, like, spider legs kind of thing. And using her iron filings, her iron dust to the utmost there. Good thing there's so much of it lying around, especially after so much debris and destruction. And for her to get a... It's like a hydra of dust. I like what they've done here. Why show yourself? And, and she found created a new set of skin, so it's all uniform now. And while they may have the same mass now, the Iron Golem is... Well, it has its perks and also its cons, with being able to displace itself, reform at any moment's matter, but in a much more fine version than the way the concrete one can. No real damage can be done to the iron one because it can just, if it gets blown out, it just and then. Whereas concrete one always will shatter into more and more pieces. Is it going to be as easy to control at that point? With 2 episodes left, and this being the last one of the week, I'm guessing we will finish off this battle. We will then get into some sort of conversation about what it all means, and then carry on for a little bit in the next one. But I really didn't expect a kind of Godzilla battle Power Rangers Megazord fight kind of thing. And yet, the arm of hers can just be pulled off. And she took a few notes. The offset it may look it. Oh no. When things were looking tough, that's when you go pull out the... No, you. So it is constantly powered up of lightning. Giant railgun. Neat. Now if you had aimed it a little bit over to the right. Boom. That's a good sound effect. Then she'll just have to keep blasting away. Although the iron dust itself can, infest inside, tear it apart from within. Although I wouldn't talk high and mighty just yet. We know where that gets us. Ah. Oh dear. How are we going to find a way to contain a gas explosion of the like? Ah, destroy it in mid-air where it can't be dropped on a populated area. There's going to be a massive fuel shortage soon. Let's hope that Academy City is equipped to deal with that. And they're just enjoying a nice little dinner. And not only were they big and bright fireworks, there's a lot of little shrapnel parts that come down. Good thing most of them seem to be above a river or something. She's a bit busy to cool. That poor bear. She is capturing what she's doing. She's using it to build on in the future. One way to find that camouflage ship in the air When did you get a bike? But she's riding into the fray, you know, being one as the regenerator of it. Would feel slightly, you know, at fault. Is it creating hundreds of, like, concrete replicas? That's kind of neat. What would be the one with the skin and the, It's like the, like, parasitic fungus that controls everything. It controls ants, you know? A sprout from his back. And what exactly is this? That was not a dignified entrance. Is there any reason it would want to talk? That's a good question, but also we've heard now in the... Can you really fire her? Is it safe to do so while she's being levitated up? I can think of a better place for a conversation, but, you know, it's a good set piece. Clever. You know, there's probably better ways of going about it, such as, you know, just asking. Using the iron filing rope to put itself onto the onto the airship, pull herself onto the airship. Let's hope that the deal is favourable. Yes. I think if that was the ideal that was being brought up here, that she wouldn't say it. I think this is a case of, like, there could only be one, and humanity trying to save its face by a sacrifice. So I'm not sure why that'll be inconvenient if you want to become a human. Well, right now there is no real reason for them to believe. Also, why is... Well, I guess the ship might be moving at some velocity, so I was going to say, why is she trying to swing and pull herself up, rather than just using, like, an iron filing... Can't remember the name of the cloud in Dragon Ball. That is her resolve in order to try and save her mother. Okay. Why did it wear out now? I see. Scavenger coming in for the assist. Looks like making friends isn't for naught. Is there anything paper can't accomplish? Good thing illuminated from the back with the backdrop of the moon. Now for a safe recovery. She doesn't know how to respond to positive reinforcement. Is that for the best? But what can she actually achieve once she gets to the top and faces the doppelganger again? And what have you uncovered? What? I consider around 20. So I've probably got about half of the theory. Well, I guess the strings pulling itself together like a artificial muscle, I guess, could be one. Rather than doing it just through ethereal means. Oh no. A scientist who is at the end of his tether, who has got so much on the line. But that factory itself was such a linchpin in this entire plan. Well, maybe AI might not be able to, but this is a very advanced AI. But how does it feel knowing that it's not the original, that it's not human, that it's created from another? Well, I think this entire thing has proved what it feels. I mean, anything would have somewhat of a self-preservation instinct. Such a I mean, muscle structure of a large herbivore. Okay. But to be fair, this kind of ability and it does look kind of cool. And wow, that's actually kind of not that bad. And is she just going to willingly explain a motivation? Ah, fuck. Where are they? I'd say you may need more than 20 to get the entire city, but you do a severe amount of damage. Well, considering her story and everything else that is not quite human, but yet still retains a sense of self and a reason to exist. I don't think they did a good enough job teaching her. The fact that they can... It is a material thing, so you'll be able to sense when and where it grows from is useful. How long was she falling if that's how far it went? Can she get into the engines? Ah. More artificial replicants. And which one should be attacked first? Which one is the most important one? This airship is taking a pounding. Oh, made a drill. I wonder if it will reach the heavens. Is this straight into the plans as well? Just ended there. So either that your line of fire goes straight into the doppelganger, so she'll be erased as well. That was part of the game plan. Or more stuff that's been planned out to create a lasting effect. More like gas tanks hovering behind the airship. But for AI to come up with these plans for replicating the emotions and effectively, but not quite, the soul of its counterpart, giving it a bit of creative thinking to being able to make these synthetic muscles. If only it had been put in a environment that wasn't with those researchers. The same can be said for pretty much anything that goes on in Academy City. I'm sure we've all seen a plethora of stories of robots, not necessarily just, but anything that rises up against its creator, ones that try and find a sense of self, and then realises what unjust world it belongs in. I'm still trying to figure out the entire motivations of this, because the entire concept of a soul is just something that we have given like a definition to not for something we can't quite understand, or wish to believe in. The fact that, I don't have a soul, but humans do. Well, sure, but you have a consciousness and you are thinking and therefore alive in a sense, so what's the difference? Does it really matter? If she stopped attacking things and got away from the researchers and the whatnot, what was going on, is there anything that would stop her just living a relatively normal life? Although clunky and her footsteps would be kind of loud. But at least I can say the animation and style of what we've seen in the episode and the previous one as well, the CGI big models that they were using didn't seem too intrusive, too clunky. Some of the animation on the lightning-infused dust one did actually look kind of good. I did like the bump mapping and texture work of the concrete one, so there's not really a lot to complain about. The design work is fine. The idea of why it was utilised is interesting. Did the doppelganger know about Misaka's control over the dust to be able to put this plan in place before scattering it into the atmosphere? I think any radar system or anything was going to have a bit of a trouble locating anything because of all the chaff in the air. So people are probably going to have to stay indoors for a while until it all settles. Don't know how bad iron dust is for the lungs. But with the amount of large areas of devastation that we've seen, like the one just now with the big concrete monster, the one long ago with Hyoka, that big area of the city that was just gone. And, well, pick any one of the big events that has happened and changed Academy City's landscape. Are people too surprised about seeing it now? So, damn it. There goes the neighbourhood again. Or does the likes of the directors and Shokoko have a good way of keeping the populace somewhat unaware of all the destruction going on and also blissfully safe? All I know is contractors have a hell of a job getting it all put back together, and that we aren't anywhere near done. At least there's another episode. So if you enjoyed this one, let me know. If you leave a like and a comment on the video, it helps me out. If you want to share it around, maybe even subscribe to the channel, it really helps me grow a little more. And if you want to become part of that monstrosity, head over onto my Discord. But for now, make sure you get yourselves a bit of rest. I'll need to see you in the next one. If you want to be part of the titan that powers my channel, consider joining onto my Patreon, because alongside the likes of Electricant, Noku, Railgun, Kite, Sal, Arthea, Dark Shadow 7899, Shiwan, Mats, Girly, Cardboard, Croyville, Megu42 and everyone else, we may be able to build something truly fascinating. Although I just hope we don't create a massive amount of air pollution on our way to watch more anime.